Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Today, I would like to explain about displaying data. Displaying data is the one of part in interpretation data. Okay, let's begin. The first one is, what is meant by displaying data? Displaying data is visual method can make the point much stronger than simply describing the data. And displaying data, appropriate use of table and graphs can change the message you are delivering. Here, there are two ways to displaying the data. The first one is use table, and the second is use graph. Always be sure to explain your table or graph in the text of your report. For every table or graphs, there should be a reference to it in the text. The first one is use table. When you use table, it's good for when exact number need to be presented, because your steps report will be the reference for result. From your step survey, it will have a lot of tables. And best practice for use table, the first one is clear table title and column or row heading. And second is minimal use of grid lines. And then leave enough space so column or row can easy to read. And here is the example of a typical preference table from the staff data book. You can look here, it's the example of use table in your report. And second is use graphs. For steps data, bar graphs and pie charts are most often used. Bar graphs show quantities presented by horizontal or vertical bars and are useful for displaying. Here is several categories of result at once. For example, males versus females. And pie charts show proportions in relation to a whole, with each weight representing a percentage of the total and are useful for displaying. For this here is parts of a whole in presenting. Percentages. When you use graph, emphasize one idea at a time in the figure. Pay careful attention to the scaling of the graphs. Provide a title, units, and labels. The graph or table should be self-explanatory. If possible, mention the total sample size of the data set for which the graph or chart is meant. Be sparing and consistent with use of colors, font, and enhancement. Here, you can look at the sample of graphs. The example of graphs. You can show the sample size, fruit consumption, the number of serving per day. You can look here, it's a sample of graphs. Next is about pie charts. When you use pie charts, should be used sparingly and are generally more useful when there are marked differences between the segments. You can look the first picture pie charts. It's false because there's no percentage. And here, the second picture, you can look here, it's true because the value labels can make them easier to read. So if you make a pie chart, you have to add percentage, so the reader can read your pie chart easily. Okay friends, I think that's all. Thank you very much for your nice attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.